I saw a video today that reminded me of the wedding in September that took place in Iraq that had a fire breakout and over 100 people lost their lives. And I was really reluctant. I am a wedding planner professionally, and I was really reluctant to do a deep dive on this, but I kept seeing stuff about it and wanted to go in and confirm my worst fears, I guess. First of all, I will say that NBC News has an incredible article that a lot of my information came from and a lot of these images are from. So several hundred people gathered on September 26th of 2023 at this wedding venue in northern Iraq. The couple was sharing their first dance and they were using what are called cold spark around the dance floor to celebrate. Super common thing to use at weddings. They generally do not produce any kind of fire like this, but they think that there's several things that contributed to it. But on this horrible night, those cold spark did catch this entire venue on fire while everyone was inside. There were several things that contributed to the fire being able to spread, which we will talk about first. While the cold spark was going off, you can see up above here, a chandelier caught on fire. And this was when folks began to notice the fire. Then there were a variety of components of the venue they believe that helps the fire spread. So one of them was this brown leafy material that was kind of on the outside of that dome. The next is stretched fabric over the ceiling, which is a very, very common thing that wedding venues used. They had hanging golden decor, which they also think was flammable. And then when all of this fabric began to catch fire and fall down onto the tables, the tablecloths and the seat covers were flammable as well. Smoke began to fill the room, and when the fire alarm started to go off, the venue owners assumed that it was an electrical fire, so they turned the power off to the room. So these people were also in darkness. Then if you look at the layout of the room here, this was the dance floor. So this is where everything started. All of these tables were lined on either side, and the only exits were one fire exit back here and then the main exit. So all of these folks over here, it was very difficult for them to make it to a space to get out. This, I believe, is the main reason why there were so many people who lost their lives during this event. The fire was lasting so long that local citizens were using bulldozers to break into the exterior walls of the venue to help people get out. All in all, over 100 people lost their lives and 150 people were injured with burns and with smoke inhalation. And the venue completely burned down. It was this is what it looked like afterwards. There's just no piece of it even left. The bride and groom made a statement afterwards saying that they felt like they couldn't even live in this community because of how many folks lost their lives at their wedding. There was an extensive investigation into the fire. They do believe that these cold sparks were the culprit to begin the fire, and then the poor preparation of the venue and emergency procedure and also all of the flammable decor is what ended up causing this entire tragedy. This is one of the most terrifying and saddest stories I have ever read, and it's taken me a really long time to want to even look into what happened, to be honest. This is just beyond sad.